As a business owner and an entrepreneur who's looking to start their own business, it is important to take into account exactly what equipment your business will need to make it successful. For everyone in the med spa business, this step in your business plan is even more important since the bulk of your services rely on med spa equipment and supplies. Hi, I'm Kelly Smith. For the last 20 years, my team and I have helped thousands of medical spas, plastic surgeons, and other aesthetic medical practices build their businesses. We do this through business development, marketing strategies, sales events, coaching, and consulting. Our team makes these videos to provide valuable tips for you to grow your med spa business. When deciding what sort of equipment you will need for your particular business plan, there are several different ways to look at it. Are you trying to get affordable equipment, or are you trying to get top-of-the-line equipment? And how do you decide what's most important? Are you looking for name recognition of the service itself? There's a few services like that the consumers know by name. Or are you trying to deliver the results? When you're deciding what sort of med spa equipment to buy for your new business, you need to ask yourself 5 simple questions. Number 1, is this service safe? Has it had studies? Are you happy with the clearances or approvals? Have you talked to other physicians providing this service? That's number 1. Number 2, is it efficacious? Do you get consistent results so that you will have happy patients that want to get this service again and again, and they'll refer their friends? Number 3, can you keep your clients comfortable during this service that might give them amazing results, but you do have to manage the discomfort level? So if you need to be able to prescribe an anti-anxiety medicine, or if you need to do lidocaine blocks, are you set up to do that? I strongly recommend you to try a piece of equipment before you buy a piece of equipment. Even if you have to go pay for a full price treatment, go somewhere, a competitor, someone around, outside your area if you want, but try the actual device on your body, on your person, and know what it feels like. This is something that is often skipped. Obviously, if it's surgical, you're not going to be able to do that. For anything that's not minimally invasive or surgical, you can try before you buy. One of the questions that I like to ask is for a reference. And you want to talk to a couple people that are references from your rep. And really the only question you need to know is, would you buy this piece of equipment again? Because they wouldn't buy the piece of equipment again if it didn't create results, it wasn't safe, they didn't have a good ROI, and if their patients and their staff didn't like rendering the service and receiving the service. So really, at the end of the day, we have those 5 questions, but the one question is the king question. Would you buy this piece of equipment again? And if you see they've got 2 or 3 of these types of equipment, then you know it's a good choice for you. My insider tip is to look online and find someone outside your area that has the piece of equipment that you're considering buying. Call that physician or the director of that med spa and find out whether they would buy that piece of equipment again, and ask them the questions instead of the supplied reference, who of course is going to have good things to say about the equipment if your sales rep is referring you to them to chat about the piece of equipment you're considering. I'm often asked, should I buy one piece of equipment and then step slowly into more equipment buys, or should I buy several pieces of equipment up front so that I can offer a nice variety of services from the very beginning? And I would say that the answer to that question has more to do with your credit and how much disposable income or operating capital you're going to have to spend on your marketing and staffing, and those, the pre-opening startup costs, as well as the first 6 months of being open. If you have the cash reserves to do it and you can afford the leases for a couple different pieces of equipment, that can be an excellent way to go. There are 2 or 3 pieces of equipment that when I combine them together with a 3-room facility, maybe 2,000 square feet, that you could easily make $1 million a year with that setup if you choose the right mix of equipment to create your service and product bundles. One of the complaints that I get from both owners and staff is that perhaps you might decide to go buy a piece of equipment without talking to anyone in your office about it, and suddenly it shows up, and then they're expected to make this equipment busy and profitable and have everybody wanting it. I would encourage you to ask your vendors, ask your staff, ask your peers about the kinds of equipment that you're considering. You need an honest answer about what it's like to own and operate that piece of equipment. Many times your esthetician, your laser techs, your nurses might have worked in other facilities with similar or with the exact equipment you're considering, and they might enlighten you to something that a sales rep wouldn't. Like, wow, this was a really really a painful service. We had so much trouble keeping clients comfortable that we really didn't like to sell it. Or they might tell you, none of the staff at that last place I worked thought that this machine worked, so we wouldn't sell it because it didn't really provide the results, and we felt terrible selling it, to a client and then not getting good results. I think you can rely on your staff to be honest about this, because they do want you to have services that they not only want to get themselves, but that they feel good about selling to their long-term clientele. And we know that retention, client retention, and patient referrals are two of the most important key profit indicators, and that's why I want you to pay attention to this particular piece of advice that I'm giving you. Many times when you're looking at the equipment involved in med spas, you'll realize quickly they're very expensive, similar to buying a car, sometimes a really nice car. And you wouldn't buy a car without a test drive, or nowadays you might buy a car online and have it delivered. However, they give you a 30-day money-back guarantee. One of the things that a laser sales rep might not tell you is once you accept delivery and sign acceptance, it's your laser, and it's now a used laser. And just like driving the car off the lot, it goes down in value, and there's no take-backs. They don't just let you change your mind and take these lasers back. So do your research, ask more than one people, experience it for yourself, or have your wife or someone on your staff go try a service so that you know you're buying something that you understand and have done some research yourself. The sales reps are extremely helpful, but they will tell you sometimes what you want to hear. So it's up to you as a consumer to do your own research. Try before you buy if you can, and look for the post-sale support, whether that be the warranties or the digital marketing budgets, however they're going to support you besides the sales training and the technical training. Those are the things that we've talked about before. You want to know your disposable costs and your post-sale support. Those are really the top things that I recommend when you are trying to decide which equipment will be the right choices for you.